Hi there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website passmyinterview.com, and in a second I'm going to walk through this door and undertake a team leader interview. So if you are applying to become a team leader with any organisation whatsoever, make sure you stay tuned because I will help you to pass it. So let's go through this door and let's undertake this team leader interview so you know how to perform at your own interview. Let's go.
Come in.
Hi then.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hi
I'm
there.
Richard.
Hi Richard.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Please
Hello.
take a seat.
Thank you very much.
Hello Richard. My name is Andrew and this is my colleague Joshua. Today we're going to be asking you a number of interview questions to assess your suitability for this team leader role. So, if you're sitting comfortably and ready, can you tell me about yourself?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for inviting me to be interviewed for this team leader position today. I am a very positive person. I am driven, I am hardworking, and I am enthusiastic about working with teams and getting them to achieve the commercial and financial objectives of my employer. So over the years, I've gained lots of experience of working with different teams, and I believe I can get the most out of them. I achieve that by always sitting down with my team members, finding out their strengths and their weaknesses, and then acting accordingly to delegate tasks and also holding them responsible. I believe I can get the most out of any team. So it does not matter the level of experience the team has. I will come into the organisation. I will first and foremost observe what they're doing. I will identify, as I said before, their strengths and weaknesses, and then put a plan of action in place to get them to function correctly. Over the years, I have also observed other high-performing managers and team leaders to learn the different skills needed to work well under pressure, to get the most out of my team, and to also ensure I implement action plans that are totally committed to getting the most out of the team to achieve the commercial objectives of the organisation. As I said at the beginning, I'm very positive and very focused. I love my work as a team leader. I take my responsibilities very seriously, and I believe if you hire me in this team leader position, you will quickly see a positive return on your investment.
Thank you.
Why do you want to work for us?
I want to work for your company for three main reasons. Obviously, before I applied for this job, I carried out lots of research into your organisation to make sure that the skills, the qualities and the levels of enthusiasm I have are a match for your company, and they clearly are. So those three reasons are, first of all, you have an impressive track record of achievement. So that tells me everything you do is focused on the future success of the business. The second reason is, having looked into the products and services you create, they are clearly set to a very high standard. That's good for me because I operate as a team leader to high standards, and it will be easier for me to go into my team and insist that everyone carries out everything to exacting standards and to defined qualities. And that's very important. The final, third reason why I want to work for you as a team leader is because looking at your future plans on your website, I believe that I can be here for a long period of time and I can really get stuck into those plans and help you to achieve the vision. So because you've got such a strong vision for the future, I can share that with my team, and it will be easier for me to create an action plan that I insist all of them follow and adhere to.
Great, thank you. What qualities are needed to be an effective team leader?
To be an effective team leader, you need numerous qualities, and the first and most important one, in my opinion, is to always focus on the company goals. You have to remember as a team leader that you are management. So whenever you are dealing with your team, directing them, everything has to be focused on the company goals and the objectives at all times. The second important quality that you need to be an effective team leader is that of being commercially driven. So you have to remember that you are working for an organisation that is there to make money and to make a profit. So you have to focus on the goals of the company, but do so by doing everything to a high standard and also trying where possible to save the company money. So you have a responsibility to be commercially driven. Other qualities that you need to be an effective team leader are being able to motivate your team. So when you come into a team, I believe you should observe them, find out their strengths and their weaknesses, and then put a plan of action in place that motivates them to achieve those initial commercial objectives. You also have to be able to work well under pressure. as a team leader. So whether that's you coming in to my team and saying, there's a problem here, we need it sorting out, you have to adapt quickly, work well under pressure, or if there is an issue where some of your team members go off sick, you have to adapt. You can't be saying to your senior managers, I've got this problem, can you help us sort it out? You have to sort it out as a team leader. So you have to work well under pressure. Another quality, a really important quality, is being able to use your initiative. So you have to adapt to different situations because things inevitably will go wrong, and it's your job as a team leader to take hold of that situation, use your initiative and come up with a really good solution. So that's just some of the qualities needed to be an effective team leader, and I believe I have all of those.
Great, thank you.
How would you deal with an underperforming member of your team?
If a member of my team was underperforming, I would take certain steps to sort it out straight away. So that's the first thing, is as a team leader, you have to take action. If you see anybody in your team not performing to the standards that you expect and you set, you must take immediate action. So first and foremost, I would speak to the individual who was underperforming to ascertain the exact reasons why they weren't carrying out their duties properly. Now, I think it's important as a team leader not to jump to conclusions. You have to ask and you have to listen, and that then gives you power to take the appropriate action. Because in a previous role, a member of my team was not performing to their usual standards, and when I sat down and spoke to them, they had personal problems at home. So therefore, I could then put a plan of action to support them and get them back up to speed quickly. So you need to listen to them, ask them questions, and make them aware that you know that they're not performing to the right standard. You then need to put an appropriate plan of action in place, and sometimes just by speaking to the team member and letting them know that you know they're not performing well is enough to make a difference. So get to the bottom of it quickly and then put a plan of action in place and give them a deadline for which they need to get back up to the right standard. And during that period of time, you need to observe them again. You need to closely watch them and give them feedback and advice. Sometimes underperformance can be as a result of a lack of appropriate training. Now, I hope that wouldn't happen in my team. However, if it did happen, I would then facilitate the right training and also motivate them to get back up to the level where they need to be. So those are the steps that I would take when managing underperformance. But I would also hope that by going into a team and giving people clear guidelines to work towards, that the amount of underperformance would be very few and far between.
Thank you, thank you.
What would you do in the first 30 days of starting as our team leader?
I would do 4 things within the first 30 days of starting as a team leader. The first thing I would do is to obtain a clear brief from you, my senior managers, on what you expect and what you want me to achieve, both short, medium and long term. I would then observe my team. The second thing I would do is observe. I think the worst thing you can do as a team leader is to go into an organisation and make changes straight away without observing what is going on and finding out people's strengths and weaknesses. So I would observe for a week and I would take note of things that were going on, good things, and also areas that I think need to improve upon. The next thing I would do, the third thing within the first 30 days, is conduct performance reviews. So after I'd observed my team for a week or so, I would then sit down with all team members individually and I would carry out a performance review. And each review would take about an hour in total. So I would talk to them about their roles, how they think they're performing, the strengths that they have within their position, and also any weaknesses or areas of improvement that we need to work upon. And I would then give them clear goals of what I want them to do over the next 6 months. I would then put a plan of action in place for all team members. So we then need to have a plan of action where we all work collectively towards the commercial goals of the business. And I would then motivate my team, praise them when appropriate, and also direct them accordingly. So those are the 4 things I would do within the first 30 days of being your team leader. I would also want to do something of significance to show you what I can do in the position, because I think it's important that if you hire me, then you get to see a positive return on your investment straight away, and I believe I can do that as your team leader.
Great, thank you.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
I have numerous strengths that are a match for this team leader job description. So the first one, I am a strong leader. So I will come into the team and I will set very high standards from the get-go. I have a responsibility as a team leader to deliver on your company objectives, and everyone in the team will know that. So I always set very high standards. I think it's important as a team leader to come into your team and set the bar high, because you can always lower it slightly if you want to, but if you set the standards low, it's very difficult to raise them later on. So I'm a strong leader who will always set very high standards. Other strengths that I possess is my ability to identify talent within a team. So I will always be looking within my team to see who is keen on progression, who wants to come up through the organisation, because I think that's then good for the future planning of your organisation. Other strengths include my ability to work well under pressure. So I believe I work at my best when things are going wrong and we have to adapt accordingly, because I always, in that type of situation, remain calm, put a clear plan of action in place, and tell everybody what to do within a certain time frame to get over the problem or the issue. In respect of my weakness, I would say that is the fact that I sometimes find it hard to ask other people for help. So if the pressure is on, I would rather try and figure it out for myself, when of course the best thing to do would be to ask other team leader or managers who are more experienced than me for advice on how to act in that particular situation. Having said that, I am the type of person who always wants to improve and develop. So if you see something about me within this team leader role that you want me to change, I will always take on constructive feedback well, and I will implement any changes needed to help the organisation to continue to thrive.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So you can see that I am answering those team leader interview questions with confidence, with positivity, and in a style that demonstrates I have what it takes to be a competent team leader. Now, before I tell you where you can download the answers, let's take a quick look at some more team leader interview questions. These are the ones that I recommend you prepare for, in addition to the ones covered within the video so far. So another team leader interview question is, what type of leader are you? Here's another one. What's the difference between leadership and management? Another common team leader interview question is, tell me about a time when you led by example. That's a difficult one. Here's another one. Tell me about a time when you had a disagreement with a manager. Here's another team leader interview question. Tell me about a time when you managed to find a solution to a challenging problem. Tell me about a time when you had to make an unpopular decision at work. And also, how would you delegate an important task to your team members? Now, if you would like the answers to these team leader behavioural interview questions, click the link right now that has appeared in the top right hand corner of the video. It will take you through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 17 team leader interview questions and top scoring answers, and these will help you to prepare effectively for your own team leader interview. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have over 500,000 subscribers now, and lots of you are passing your interviews as a result of the content, which is brilliant news. I am on a mission to help as many people as possible to pass their job interviews. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. And finally, please give the video a like. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your team leader interview. Have a brilliant day.